another bloodline of people. So
to this day, all black people don't get along. So I mean, I can conceive that.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? All black people don't get along together.
All melanated people, all skin folk ain't kin folk. Because
Right.
that's why I use that analogy of an East Indian man. He melanated. Even the so-called Chinese man got some melanin. They just light. They like yellow. They yellow. You know what I mean? So we thinking it back in ancient time. We don't look at it as just what probably in today's time black on black crime when that was going on. No, that was nation versus nation crime. See what we got going on now between Israel is black on black crime. That's different from when the Egyptians come in like, we Egyptians, they Israel, let's enslave them. That's a whole different thing. You know what I mean? We're gonna make sure we separate the two. Let me show you this too real quick. Another thing, like we said, we go even to other nations, right? To see even about our nation. This is called the Mesha Stele, also known as the Moabite stone. We know Moabites is a nation of people.
Let me get a picture of that.
Yeah, get a picture of that. And even in our scriptures, just tell us about when Moab did this. And this even in their history.
And kind of just to show you another source, this is a map from the year 1588 of Western Africa in the Congo, right? And I'm gonna zoom in on it. It's written in Latin, right?
Right.
And let me try to zoom in closer on it for you. You see right here, it says Ividium Terra, right? It's in Latin, so I'm gonna go to Latin real quick. I'm gonna translate it to English and see what it say, because this is in the Congo, Western Africa, right? So this is how you, because back in the days, back in that time, during 1588, they didn't have the letter J or U in the English language, so it's a V and an I instead, right? But in modern times, it'd be J and U, right? But when you translate that from Latin to English, it's the land of the Jews. So when you go back to this map, in the year 1588 in Western Africa, in the Congo, it's calling it the land of the Jews in Western Africa.
Okay. You saying they're calling what the land of the Jews?
They're calling the Congo, Western Africa. They have it labeled as the land of the Jews, and there's also a Negro
So
land.
so you're saying the Jews were in Congo as well?
Yeah, they were all throughout
So
Western.
that's
and
central, because that's more central.
Yeah, they were all throughout Western and Central Africa. I can show you a map from I believe the year 1700, around there, of the Negro land map, which labels Benin and Togo as, or the Slave Coast, and also as the Kingdom of Judah.
Okay.
So it's just
Pull that up too. While
Yeah.
you wait for you can get a picture of that. Oh, this is all history. But let's go to this Moabite stone. Dated around about 840 BCE, containing a significant Canaanite inscription in the name of the king Mesha of Moab, a kingdom located in modern Jordan. Mesha tells how Shemos, the god of Moab, had been angry with his people, allowed them to be subjugated to the kingdom of Israel. But at length, Shemos returned and assisted Mesha to throw off the yoke of Israel and restore the lands of Moab. Mesha also described his many building projects as written variant of the Phoenician alphabet, closely related to the Paleo-Hebrew script.
That's Salaki. And in that particular account on the Moabite stone, when we look at Kings, it also shows how we were giving tribute to the Moabite kings and by sheep, because Mesha was called the sheep master. And it literally shows an account in we'll pull it up in I think it's Second Kings, of all of the sheep that we was given. And then when you look in that on the other lines of that,
And they stone,
Yeah,
you look in these lines,
it tell you of that same amount of sheep.
So
Exactly.
So the Moabite kingdom was in Jordan, is what you're saying?
Moab was south of west,
East.
the southeast of the kingdom of Judah.
Okay, what part of Africa was that at?
No, that was in the Levant.
The Bible was not.
Yeah, like what they would call the so-called Middle East now.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause
that's
you
what
had
I'm
the
saying.
kingdom of
Right,
Moab,
okay,
you
yeah,
had the
so I'm saying,
kingdom
like,
of
that's
Edom.
the Jordan area. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought I read. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
Con.
all
make sure I'm
praise.
following it.
Con.
Good history, man. Did you take a picture of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let me. Did I? Let me see. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Hey, y'all, I got it, man. This is a powerful build session. Like, yeah, I just be when y'all was first asking me, I'm trying to like, you tell me. Let's get into it. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. 'Cause
No, that's what we want.
You
We
know what
ain't
I'm
up here,
saying?
hey, we want you to think. We want you to research. This is what we want.
Yeah.
So when you find it's true, you stand 10 toes out on it.
Right.
Because you when you do all that, everything, this is what we got to do.
Right.
It's undefeated.
Right.
All this other stuff pop up. Like you said, well, they said this come from this. We looked at it undefeated. That don't even make sense because y'all going off the word Israel English. some people be like, see, Israel, or try to break down something like that and make it link to something else.
Right.
That's
No,
wrong
you gotta
because
study
it's
the real
Yasharala in the
Nah.
Hebrew.
You
So
gotta-
that wouldn't even
right.
make sense what you're trying to do.
They be
So
saying-
we gotta defend all these doctrines that come up so we know we standing 10 toes down in the truth.
And Salaki King on that one, they be saying Israel is ISIS Rael.
Yeah, they be trying to make a connection to that, but that's English. We want to call ourselves Israel in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. It's Yasharala, so that wouldn't make no sense. So we got to come to the defense of all these things that people be trying to connect. You know what I mean? So all praises. That's what we want you to do. So when you come up, you like, oh, I'm 10 toes down strong in this thing.
Yeah,
all these other things
because
people
you
just
got-
said,
because-
I see don't make no sense. I'm looking at all these other, I'm looking at Moabites, the Egyptians. I seen everybody talking about the kingdom of Israel, and I see a line right over the scriptures. I know this is true. Undefeated.
Right, because what we also are sorting through, we're sorting through history, we're sorting through language, but the main thing that I've been studying on is the different mythologies, right? Because a lot of the things that's even in the Bible really come from the mythologies. And some things that they said was polytheism, what really wasn't polytheism. And certain things that we think is dealing with a god or a goddess is really dealing with the descriptions of your chakras and whatnot. So it's all everything
Well,
is
you had to
mixed
stop
up.
you right there. Even with that, you had to more research that because some of them things you going more off a doctrine or something, but actually what the Bible really says.
I'm talking about all of it. But what I'm saying is,
Yeah, but what I'm saying when you say it's based on mythology.
just hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying.
No, I heard. I want to
Okay,
deal with that
okay.
part because you made that statement. So I would have to come in and show you exactly why I disagree with that statement.
Okay.
That is lining up to chakras and all that type of stuff. That's now you bringing another teaching from somebody else and mixing it with the Bible. The Bible, you can't say the Bible teach that when it doesn't. Now, if somebody, let's just say Christianity got a doctrine and they teach it, and you hear it, and you like, no, that ain't making sense. You more mad at the doctrine. You can prove that the doctrine is false.
Pull up Google 24 spiritual elders, and I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about. And what I'm saying is, this don't necessarily disprove nothing of what y'all are saying, but I'm saying we have the bloodline conversation, right? The historical conversation, and then when there's the esoteric metaphoric conversation about what we doing spiritually. That's all I was saying.
Talking about the elders from Revelations.
Yeah, I just read a good article on it that was breaking down what I was talking about. But it's not. But it don't necessarily contradict what you were saying. So you know what I'm saying.
I mean, if we depending on our chakras, it would.
Or hold on, another thing. Like I was listening to a brother named Billy Carson, right? And something that I have studied. Some of the stuff that's in the Bible is a compilation of different things that was taught in the ancient civilizations, right? So when we talk about God, sometimes it's not just referring to the one spiritual God. It's talking about, Enlil and Iki and Babylon, and you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things that's mixed together in there. Like it's another thing in Numbers. I watched.
That'd be false, King.
Okay, I watched.
I mean, we can debate it.
Yeah, but I'm
because
saying,
even when you deal with chakras, you did them more going into yoga and you going into Hinduism.
yeah, but that was.
Yeah, you get to going into all that. That don't mix with the Bible. The Bible wasn't ever teaching Hinduism.
But I could argue that because we say Christ, and Christ come from Krishna. You know what I'm saying?
No, it
That's
don't.
all English, though.
That's English, and Christ wouldn't come from Christian because Christian will come after Christ. If you want to use the word Christ, they call people that follow Christ a Christian.
No, he's
You
talking
can't
about
say-
Krishna.
Oh, he's talking about
Krishna,
Krishna.
like,
but
yeah,
sure
that would
talking
be-
about a translation and a transliteration.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying if we're really comparing and doing our homework,
That's what we doing. But that's what we're comparing to doing the homework. Obviously, the flaw in some of the science that you spit right now.
And Salakia too, that Krishna doctrine, I'd be killed because that's going on with the East Indians. You talking about Krishna, Brahma, Shiva, Ganesh, and things.
right? But what do you think?
Because peep this though, just on that, because the thing when you say Christ and Krishna, once again, what the brother's making a point of the transliteration. Because if you look at it in the Paleo Hebrew, like Hamashiach, that's referred to as the Christ in English. So like when you say Christ and compare it to Krishna, that's just like when people say Israel and say Israel. Yeah, that might seem cool, like it's the same word or the same similarity. You know what I'm saying? In English, But when you go in the Hebrew, it's a total different word that has nothing to do with Christian. You see what I'm saying?
That's why we had these conversations. You get what I'm saying?
No, look, me and this brother used to be in Islam together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was one of my teachers. Him, Rama, and them. So we've been building for a while. You know what I mean?
So what I've been dealing with is like certain things, certain stories in the Bible. They got the same story, just playing out different. But it's certain things like how in the Bible when they say Moses was the baby basket down by the river. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was like Krishna or Rama, one of them had some of the same stuff playing out in the story.
Of
so
course.
Then you have.
Let me tell you why though. This is what it goes in. We got to realize from the lineage, right? A lot of these different places, they try to say the Bible plagiarized their stories, their accounts, but it's actually opposite because you got to think about this. When you look at like the Elamites, they come from Shem. When you look at even the account of Noah, right? Ham, Shem, and Japheth, all those nations from the tree of nations come from that lineage. Mm-hmm. So it's like, say all of us got the same granddad. You follow what I'm saying? And our granddad taught us these teachings. But then we go to different lands. You might take a story or account that our granddad taught us and put your spin on it, right? But when we go back to the source of our granddad, we got to look at the ancient manuscripts and things of that nature, the culture, the history, and the prophecy. You follow what I'm saying? Go ahead, Kay.
What you just said is all my point is. So, meaning, it's some consistency in all this, and it's all been mixed up. You get what I'm saying? Now, this conversation has taught me something. You get what I mean? But what I'm saying is, that's what all I'm looking at. I'm like, so I'm doing more research, even in this conversation, to sort through all of it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because I'm coming into things that's saying, oh, it sounds like it's all separate, but like how you just used the metaphor of like, oh, it's one granddad, and then all this other stuff spread it out from that. So now I'm doing the homework to see, okay, well now let me see exactly what was what and what came first and how what descended from what, because I'm seeing all these different things with the similar gods, the similar goddesses, the similar teachings, the similar practices, the similar stories. You get what I'm saying? Or certain people is saying, whether you're right or whether they're right, some people are suggesting that etymologically, Christ comes from Christos and Christos comes from Krishna. More than one archaeologist has said that. And then when you look at the story of Krishna, okay, in the Bible, it started off baby Jesus, right? And the three wise men, right? And then his life when he was in the prime of his life, and then eventually when he got crucified, right? But when he was in the prime of his life, he emerged as the Messiah, right?
But one big thing that's different between the Krishna account is even when you look at Christians, they say that Krishna was born without no mother or father. But and people try to push that with the Immaculate Conception. But when you go
you talking about Jesus or you talking about?
I'm talking about Krishna. You follow what I'm saying?
I don't remember if he ever said he was born like that. Cause I mean, but I don't remember the whole thing vividly.
No, check it out, dude. Yeah. Okay. But when you go into the scriptures, right? A lot of people even get the misunderstanding that Christ was born without a father. You follow what I'm saying? But the Bible don't teach that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the Bible don't teach the Immaculate Conception. That's doctrine. You follow what I'm saying? The Bible teach, because even when you go into a seed in the Bible, and we look it up, and even in the Greek, and then going into the Hebrew, going to sperma, which is literally your physical sperm. But because what we got to look at too is like the indoctrination, the doctrines, separating the doctrines of Christianity and a lot of these doctrines from the actual truth of the scriptures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
dogma versus
true indeed.
The truth.
True indeed.
I'm
True
definitely
indeed.
with you on that. I'm definitely
True indeed.
I'm letting y'all know we ain't certain things we eye to eye on. You get what I'm saying? I'm just here comparing notes to other scholars out here. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't.
Which we appreciate because you see how many we can say a lot of things you name it. We going straight to it. We Christian, this is boom, boom, boom. So what you doing is what we have done and continue to do. Because at the end of the day, we coming out to our people, and our people are how we can't know about all these other doctors? How we expect to teach our people? And we don't know about all these other things.
Yeah, you gotta know about these other things.
Yeah, so you gotta think we gotta deep dive into these things. So that's why brothers is able to bring up them accounts, show these things, and be like, no, look, this don't make sense. Because you gotta think these are the same things been coming at us. Things we have to go deal with. It's sick. Yeah, this don't make sense.
Okay, fellas, my brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's a powerful build. I do got to get moving.
Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Hold on, you want to show you one more thing?
One more thing before you go. Just that Negro land map I was talking about. So to show you the year right here, the year was published, and then the cartographer who made the map, right?
Okay.
Just a little quick description of the map right there. Kind of let you take a picture of it.
And then I'll do some more homework and we'll keep the cipher going, you know what I'm saying?
All praises. Yeah.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
All right, Shalom, King. Good to see you. How little Rob and everybody doing? Everybody blessed? All right.